Lesson 4.2 Learning Goal. I will be able to compare sexual and asexual reproduction and explain how variation is created. Beginning with our big idea. New alleles or traits comes from mutations, and new combinations comes from meiosis and the process of fertilization. Continuing on with the big cause and effect idea is that things such as replication errors, environmental factors, and also human-directed genetic engineering practices can create variation. These different causes could affect how DNA changes, and DNA changes the RNA codons, which can change the amino acids, which can then change the protein shape and its function. So let's kind of talk about two big processes. And the first process we're going to talk about is meiosis. But please make sure that you can fix the typo that you see over here. Let's begin by talking about the purpose of each process. Meiosis, the one with the E, that's talking about me. And how are you made? You're made through reproduction. Mitosis is for growth and repair. Now these two makes totally different types of cells. Meiosis, since we're talking about reproduction, it only makes two types of cells, and that is sperm and egg cells. These things are interchangeable with these vocabularies. Sex cells still mean sperm and egg. Gametes still means sperm and egg. And of course, sperm and egg means sperm and egg. But all of this to say that these are the different types of cells that are made that are responsible for reproduction. Next, mitosis makes your toes, sis. It makes your body cells. And this is a fancy term called somatic cells. And we're going to kind of get into some examples of this later. Now, we're going to talk about the chromosome number. These have a half set of chromosomes. So in normal humans, we have 46 chromosomes. But in the sperm and egg cells, they only have 50%. So there will only be 23. But in mitosis, all of your cells have been completed reproduction. So the sperm and the egg have joined, and now each of your cells will be making the 46 chromosomes. So this results in different genetic outcomes. In meiosis, each sperm and egg cell is unique and different. But for mitosis, each of the body cells or the somatic cells, they are identical clones. They just have different jobs. So 100% of the same DNA. And now we're going to label the models. So in these sperm or egg cells, in this image we've only drawn sperm cells, there's only 50% of the DNA. But in these body cells, it has 100% of the DNA. Now let's talk about these key regions vocabulary that will help you be successful. Starting with allele, this is a version of a gene that is different. So you have different options for the same trait. In the model, you can clearly see that in this DNA strand, there are two allele options, one for brown eyes and the other for blue eyes. Depending on whether the allele or the gene is turned off or on, depends on what the trait the person will have. Next key term is mutation. This is a change in the DNA sequence, and this could create a new allele or a new variation. In this thing here, you see that the DNA is broken or damaged, and there's a change. Not all mutations are bad, but not all mutations are good. Some mutations have no effect at all. The next key term is somatic, and we kind of briefly spoke about that. This is a body cell, and mutations in these types of cells only affects the person. So some examples of body cells or somatic cells are your brain cells, liver cells, muscle cells, your intestine cells, and your blood cells. Next, we have the term gamete. This means egg or sperm. A mutation in these types of cells can be passed on to your offspring or to your children. So let's apply this in a region-style case study. So there's a problem. Some people have this fish skin smell disorder. With this disorder, a person who is overall healthy, but after eating eggs, fish, beans, their breath and their sweat has a strong, smelly, fishy odor. And it does not go away with normal hygiene, such as showering, soap. It's just being exuded out of them. And then as they get stressed because they smell bad, it could lead toward either a worse smell. During puberty or after exercise, the smell gets worse. So this is super embarrassing, especially in school or social situations. Let's now think about this as a scientist and make a question. So how can mutations cause a person to produce a strong odor even though they are not dirty? Most people have an enzyme or this protein that makes a gene called FMO3 that converts the smelly TMA, which is the smelly chemical in the body, into the non-smelly form. And this condition can run in families, which suggests that this could be inherited, so it's passed on. The problem is, if we compare the DNA mutated sequence to the normal sequence, we can see that there is a change in this gene, and it's right here. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to compare and contrast the normal sequence versus the mutated one by first transcribing the DNA into the RNA codon. We're going to use our complementary bases, which is here, A to U, T, A, G, C, C, G, and we're going to fill out the strand. Using the universal codon chart, which gives us our amino acids, AUG is met. And then you guys know how to do the rest. We're going to complete and fill out the chart. But now, how does this affect the protein shape? So with the normal DNA sequence, we have a normal protein shape. And that means that the person will have a normal smell if they eat beans or fish and if they use proper hygiene. However, in that mutated sequence, we can see that the difference is the T over here. And that causes the change in the mRNA strand. Same thing. We must now use our amino acid chart to find each of the codons to find the difference. And we can see that the amino acid that's different is LEU. This causes a different protein shape, so it's abnormal. And the different shape changes the trait to being a smelly skin. So let's fill out our cause and effect chart. The DNA base change or the mutation then leads to the mRNA codon change. That changes our amino acids. The protein folds or shape changes. And then the protein function changes the trait, which makes the person's skin smell bad.